people almost always rely on the past. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, we rely on the past. The fruits of our labor from the past. Now this could be a good thing or a bad thing. This could be wholesome or unwholesome, kusala or akusala. But we rarely properly evaluate the role of our past actions, choices, and especially the momentum of the past actions. This could be in the form of sankharas, those aspects of our past actions, what I'd like to call generative causes or preparations, ways that we have established momentum in our thinking, in our planning of things, in the way we perceive things, in the way we feel things. What oftentimes people refer to as, well, it comes naturally to me. Well, that naturally, quote unquote, whatever comes naturally part, is what we can look at the sankharas with. And that's coming from the past. But there's also the drive, the habitual tendency aspect of sankharas. The blueprint, if you will, which holds such a tremendous, powerful position in one's life. So the person might go on a retreat, the person might genuinely put the effort to practice meditation or to practice and include in one's life sila with more fervor, with more intensity and determination than ever before. But if there are gaps, if there are moments in the day where the person lags behind, if they were supposed to sit down, they had told themselves, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to spend 5 minutes today, I'm going to spend 5 minutes just practicing mindfulness, sati and sampajanya, with full alertness of my body, where it is located in time and space, when it's moving, when my arms are moving, as I walk, when I'm turning my head, trying to gaze at something, when I'm walking into a room, getting out from a room, getting into my car, etc. Those 5 minutes that one has promised oneself, if they don't hold themselves to it, accountable, well, I skipped it in the morning. Okay, I still have the day. Let me squeeze that in somewhere in the rest of my day. So when the person just closes an eye or two and does not fulfill that task, because it's a task-oriented process. Because after all, the Dhamma is a living process. We must also do Dhamma It's not just a matter of sit and wait, go on a retreat and just sit there, be here now kind of a nonsense. Nonsense when people just make that all in all, everything about the Dhamma. No, it requires a lot of work. The farmer has to cultivate the land, till the land, water it, tend to it, take good care of it, and then seed it, protect it, protect the seeds from being eaten by crows and other animals. So he's not just like once, we'll take care of this, we'll spend a day or 6 hours in one day of the year and just, that's it. And then we'll just go and do the harvest and just, collect. No, after he sows, before he sows, after he sows, during it, and every moment in between, he's still, in his mind at least, thinking of ways to better take care of his land. That is the mindset of a mental cultivator. That's what we call also bhavana. That's what it means, to cultivate, to develop. So if the person is no longer determined with energy to maintain one's course, once having seen the Dhamma, once having seen, as in, it doesn't have to be a supramundane state of a noble disciple, that we don't even have to go there yet. But when a person sees a teacher, when a person comes across a beautiful statement somewhere that quickly carries the heart towards the Dhamma, something gets ignited in them, something unusual, and they suddenly have this chanda, this interest, this strong fervor in them. Don't let that go. Cultivate it, protect it. Otherwise, remember those sankharas, remember those tendencies, habitual tendencies, they will come, and it is a powerful flood. And your determination that you thought you had, and the love for the Dhamma that you saw develop in you, will be nothing more than a feeble, weak bridge that is made out of tattered bamboo sticks, made up with reeds, and a powerful flood comes and just destroys it and washes it away. And that is what I see, especially in this time period in the world today, where some people, because of their good karma somewhere in the past, they might have had a wish, a desire to study and practice the Dhamma. And they might have done some good work in their past or even in this life pertaining to the Dhamma. They might have gone on some retreats. They might have even deliberately, intentionally dedicated a portion of some time. But the majority of the time, they always give in by giving up what they had determined to do, to bring in these new habits to counteract the old habitual tendencies, because we have done far worse things. We have done terrible things. We have basically been swimming in the ocean of akusala kamma, more so than we have in a kusala kamma realm. We've done more unwholesome things with our thoughts, our words, our physical actions. So the natural tendency of the mind is swimming, drenched in avidya. That is why Lord Buddha stressed so much the fact that this path is all about wisdom. So, if you tell yourself, yes, this morning I'm going to, or tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to wake up with gratitude, with appreciation in my mind. I will wake up with a smile in my heart, on my face. When I eat my meal, I'm going to have a sense of ease. I will not hold myself to blame for even the tiniest little negative thoughts that I haven't said. I will not be filled with remorse, or I will not be lost in ignorance. I will not be careless with my thoughts either. See what the kusala are from the akusala. Appreciate those. Appreciate moments of unawareness as well when you become aware of that fact. And show some appreciation. And that is already trying to maintain sati. But don't keep holding on to remorse. Acknowledge it. Retake the precepts. Retake sila. And every time, every moment that you have sati, you essentially are practicing sila. If you're practicing true samma sati, that is. And if you have samma ditti, sooner or later, the water is going to start to circle the drain. And the drain here is a metaphor I'm using for the heart's path in finding the Dhamma. Sooner or later, you will find the Dhamma. So you have a powerful avalanche always working against you. And those are your sankharas, your habitual tendencies that are all about avidya and keeping you in avidya. Because if you close an eye to this thing, this moment of sati that you missed out, this period of sitting that you said, well, I'm going to sit, but you did not. And you're always going to have excuses to explain those away and saying, because of that, I wasn't able to maintain mindfulness, or I wasn't able to practice sila. So long as you're doing that, what you're doing is you're opening up the floodgates. There's no way you will be able to hold back that massive flooding coming your way all the time. In fact, you're always, it's touching your back, it's pushing you. The Dhamma is powerful, but when you allow yourself to still remain, to still have one foot in ignorance, all those resolutions, the determinations you made, yes, I'm going to practice, I'm going to attain sotapatti, in this life, I'm going to do this, I'm going to experience this, I'm going to give it all. I'm going to practice sila, samadhi, panya. All that will amount to nothing. So, we must have vidya. That's why Lord Buddha placed vidya in so many of the formulas of how to cultivate, the techniques of how to cultivate the mind, because you're working against some powerful currents that you have started and maintained throughout many lifetimes. So please stop maintaining avidya in this life as well. Stop maintaining a life that is akusala in this life as well. Reintroduce panya every single time when you have sati. Show appreciation for the efforts you have made in the past, and if you realize by listening to these words of Dhamma, reconnect with that good, beautiful, wholesome place in your heart, and let the past be in the past, remain in the past. Look forward But don't be swayed, don't be guided by your habitual tendencies. They are very subtle. They're part of you after all. But don't be fooled that I got this. I've overcome this. I have overcome my old tendencies. That's impossible so long as, well, at the very least, you haven't seen the Dhamma with the Dhamma eye, seeing life, yatha bhutang pajanati, how things come to be, how things are taking place really within yourself, within the mind. But especially so long as you haven't attained arahanthood. That must be your guiding North Star every single day. But the proof must be there in every single day as well. It's not goal-oriented in that fashion where we don't see proof of the work. Because the moment you show appreciation to yourself, to the good effort you're putting in, the moment you put that effort, you will see benefits immediately. Just like when you give yourself that beautiful smile that asks for nothing in return. But immediately it gives you that soothing, cool sensation, that upliftment of the heart. Throughout the body, it resonates. That's immediate. The Dhamma is immediate. Sanditiko, it's timeless. Akaliko. Let's not forget that. So make your life become timeless. Live a beautiful life. Every moment. At least try to, with a smile. That's all.